we doing? My name is Trent and I am a comedy content creator. So this is very new to me. It's not going to be a tech review. I'm not that kind of guy, although I do understand it. You know, I've been filming video and photo for a long time and I love all the techie details, but it won't be a generic tech review. It'll be a real life review from someone who bought these to try and get a different point of view for vlogs and B-roll and whatnot. So let's get into it. I've got some notes here on the screen, so I'm going to refer to those. But first up, I wanted to say that this is my first experience with Ray-Ban Metas or any sort of recording device wearable. I haven't had the Gen 1 version. I'm going straight into the Gen 2. So this is all I kind of know, to keep that in mind. Why did I buy these in the first place? I don't know. I just saw the release video and I was like, wow, that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna buy them. The Gen 1s, the content that I'd seen on social media, like Instagram Reels, I wasn't super impressed with the quality of video that I was seeing from it. I'm assuming it was just 1080p, like full HD video, which is fine. But in a day and age where 4K is kind of the hero, I don't know, it left me a bit like, oh, I don't need those. So when I saw the footage that you can film with these ones, how you can shoot in 3K quality, straight away I was like, that looks a lot better. And I think just the overall dynamic range didn't look as overly sharpened and things like that, which you can alter in the app that you get. I always turn the sharpness on those things way down because it just looks a bit too digital for me. The same as what I do with the Osmo Pocket 3 that I'm filming with right now. It just provides a more pleasing look when you take all that sharpening stuff out. So yeah, this won't be an overly techie review. It's going to be from a content creator's point of view, which is, I'm assuming if you're looking into buying these glasses, it's because you make content in some capacity, or maybe that's what you're wanting to do down the line. The design and overall comfort of these, yes, they're just like normal Ray-Bans. It's kind of what they are. I guess they are technically a bit heavier on paper, but I do not feel that at all. I wear reading glasses for computer and stuff anyway, so I haven't noticed a huge shift. I don't feel like it's a video recording device, put it that way. The model I got are the headliner. It's in the shiny black, so it's not a matte finish, which I kind of do regret not getting the matte finish. I find that these kind of, when I put them on, they look like they're a bit like toy glasses or like fake Ray-Bans from Bali or something like that. I don't know. I wish I got the matte ones, and I got them with the transition lenses as well. So when I'm outdoors, it looks more like sunglasses. You won't be able to really see my eyes. And then when I walk indoors, I don't have to stop recording or take them off. They just kind of transition to how they are now. So big plus on the transitions. I've really loved that feature. I've never had transitions with reading glasses or anything like that. So I'm really happy I went with the transitions. I definitely recommend that. Overall comfort though, no complaints. They just feel like normal sunglasses. You can wear them for hours at a time, not take them off, and they don't feel like they're overly heavy or anything like that. So no stresses there. One thing I was a little bit unsure about when I ordered these glasses was, am I going to look weird wearing these in public? And are people going to know straight away that they're Ray-Ban Metas and think that I'm filming them and whatever? Looks alone, no. I haven't had anyone like double take or sort of like look at me or ask me if I'm filming them or anything like that. We'll get into the recording light that stays on to let people know that you are recording a bit later. But overall looks of the frames and everything, no, they just look normal and no one's noticed anything weird. One thing I was really pleasantly surprised about was how easy it was just to set up and put them on and use them. I wasn't sure how hard it was going to be, how many buttons and dials and things like that. I didn't really research them a whole lot. I kind of just got caught up in the hype and pre-ordered them and was like, yep, that's going to help elevate my content. Why not? It's a tax write-off. Here we go. But yes, the setup, super easy. It's a QR code that you scan on your phone to help download the app, and then everything connects wirelessly. Like, so easy to use. And after you finish filming or taking photos, everything gets sent wirelessly to your phone, and then you can, distribute it from there. So super easy to use. One thing I will mention though is the voice command. Sometimes it didn't really pick up that I was even saying, hey Meta. I'm not really someone who relies on Siri and voice control function a lot of the time. So when I was doing it, it was just more to see how it works and everything. And yeah, to my surprise, it didn't pick it up at all. So that was annoying. The battery life has been another highlight for me. I haven't had to take them off and recharge them and wait while it does its thing or anything like that. The case that it comes in, obviously, like that's a recharging case. So when you put them in, it sort of starts charging them straight away. But yeah, really impressive. They say up to 8 hours, I think, on one charge. So that's awesome. Now the camera and the quality of footage that comes out of these. Honestly, the 3K footage looks pretty good. Definitely recommend lowering the sharpness in the app. As I said before, it just makes it look a little bit less digital. But compared to the Gen 1 footage that I've seen, as I said, I haven't owned the Gen 1s, but footage side by side in comparisons, it's so much better. And just quickly, the dynamic range, stabilization, low light performance, it's all been really good. I haven't had any issues with any of that. The speakers in them are actually surprisingly really good too. Little speakers just here in either side. Obviously, if you're in a quiet room and you've got the speakers turned up to 100%, people around you will be able to hear like what it's saying, or if you're playing music or a podcast or whatever. But I haven't had them on 100% because I haven't found I've needed them that loud. But the overall quality of the speakers are really good. The microphone quality when filming with these, I haven't had any issues. Wind noise, things like that. It all sounds really clear, so yeah, no issues there. But now let's get into some dislikes and things that I noticed that were a bit annoying. There isn't that many, but I think it's important to cover them off in case you're not aware of them. Number one for me, and I know this is really controversial, but it's the LED filming light that comes on to let people know that you are filming. Now, I fully understand the light overall is a positive thing to include on these glasses, for sure. They could be used in the wrong way. You kind of want people to know if they're being filmed fully get that and I support that. But the one thing it does for me is if you're out and about and you're filming and the light is on, I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm starting the recording now and you can't really tell because I've got a big overhead light, but say I'm talking to someone, obviously they're going to see this bright light in their face, right? I'm not trying to film that kind of content. I'm not going to be going up to someone and try and pretend like I'm not filming them and be sneaky about it. But in general, if I'm trying to film a reaction from a friend or something like that, you're not going to get a genuine reaction out of them as soon as they see that light. But I get it. You can't trust everyone to do the right thing. So I'd rather have it on than not, but it is something to be aware of because in all the promo videos and stuff that I watched, they didn't once mention that or say that when you're recording, the light stays on. And yes, you're probably thinking, well, why can't you just cover it up or put some tape over it or something like that? It doesn't work. In the Gen 1s, apparently you could just like put a bit of tape over the sensor and then the camera still works and everything was fine. There's no flashing light. But in the Gen 2s, they've fixed that. The LED light that you see actually acts as a light sensor as well. So if you covered it up and then you try and start recording, it says you're blocking the sensor, we can't start the recording. But you kind of get over it and it's fine. And if you use them in the right way, as I said earlier, you have nothing to be worried about. Another dislike is the limited recording specs. You can only film in full HD 1080p or 3K. And 3K is still awesome, but the main gripe I have with it is you can't switch from like portrait to landscape. It only films in like that 4:3 or whatever it is, like that kind of Instagram rectangle shape. So it's not even enough to like post a story or a reel. You have to kind of like stretch it to fit. But because you are filming in 3K and not 1080p, you have more room to kind of stretch it to a 1080 overall export size, which is what you'd need for social media anyway. I am hopeful they can fix this in like a simple firmware update like they do for digital cameras and things. So who do I recommend these glasses for? If you're someone like me and you got them because you wanted to try and make more YouTube content, more vlogging content, B-roll behind the scenes, unboxing, stuff like that, 100%, they're so worth it. And the tech is only going to get better from here as well. And I know that Apple are planning on releasing their version. There's going to be more of them coming out and that will only push the boundaries of what these things can do and the quality that they can record in. And of course, Meta's other version, the AI display ones that have like a little screen on the inside of the lens that only the user can see. Amazing. Now for the Q&A. I put up a question box on my Instagram for people that wanted to know a bit more about me and my content and whatever they wanted. I just said, ask whatever you want and I'll just answer it in a YouTube video. So here it is. I've got my phone. First of all, for those of you who don't know, I am a comedy content creator. I make skits on TikTok and Instagram. If you just stumbled across this Meta AI glasses review, the main thing I do is making skits and comedy content. And I'm trying to get into more YouTube stuff. I've been a bit slack lately. But yes, I'd love if you can follow along my journey and stick around if you want to find out a bit more about me right now. So here we go. First question, when are you visiting Mexico? No plans on that yet, I'm sorry. What is your dream job? Honestly, it's doing what I'm doing right now. If I could do this for the rest of my life and make a decent income from it, 100%. I'm on my way. I'm getting brand deals and things now, which is really, really good to see. And I'm super grateful, but I'm still working full time in a corporate role. So the idea is that I can eventually phase that out and go full time into content. So I'm on my way and let's hope I can get there. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? This will surprise a lot of people, but I'm actually very introverted a lot of the time. I don't know what the special terms are. I know there's like different categories and whatever, but putting me into like a large group setting where I have to try and speak and be heard by everyone in a room, like it's not really for me. I'm normally one to sit back and just observe the room. As you can probably pick up from my content if you've watched my shopping out series and all those sorts of reels, that's from me just being a good observer in my opinion. So yeah, more introverted than extroverted, I'd say. Can you do some more store skits? Yes, I love doing the store ones, the shopping out ones, as I said before. A lot of those ideas have come from you guys too, when I put up a question box or people just commenting and saying, you should do one about this store. So yeah, I love your feedback and I'm always open to your suggestions. How was your wedding day? The wedding went really well. It was just a small wedding, about 30 people, just like close friends and family. But that's kind of what we wanted. We didn't want anything too big and over the top. And we also didn't want to wait like 18 months to lock a venue away and a lot of planning and stress that goes with that. So yeah, it was a really nice, small, intimate wedding and we had a really good time. I get this one a lot. How old are you? You could totally be in your early 20s or mid 30s. I'll answer you right now. It's one of those two things. Where can we get That's Wild tees and hoodies? For those that don't know, I say That's Wild in a lot of my videos. I love that that's catching on. To be honest, it never meant to be a thing that I was planning. I just kind of said it a lot and I do say it in real life and I guess that kind of just caught on. And now people are asking me in every video like, when are we getting That's Wild merch and whatnot? So hopefully one day. What do you use to edit? Camera, etc. All of my videos I film on this, what I'm filming right now, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I find it's really good for filming landscape stuff for YouTube, but also flipping it around and filming portrait stuff for Reels and TikTok. Biggest thing I love about using this camera for my content is it has a little tripod and I can also just like screw it into a light stand and place it anywhere in the room. Has a wireless mic that attaches to it. The footage is awesome, and it has the face tracking feature. The face tracking feature is amazing when used in the right use case. I'll turn it on right now. You'll see that it's now tracking my face. But I don't like it for YouTube because it can get a bit annoying, and people have commented on my previous videos being like, can you stop it from moving? It's really annoying. So yeah, I've taken that advice and I've turned that off now for YouTube stuff. But when I'm filming my reels and it looks like someone's actually there with me in the room, like filming me, which I love because it's just me filming on my own. Oh, and for editing, I use Adobe Premiere. I've been using that for like 10 years because I use it for my full-time job. So I already understand how to edit and everything. When I first started making reels, it was really easy for me because I didn't have a huge learning curve that a lot of other new creators get when they first come into this world and try to understand how to edit and everything. So I was very lucky in that sense. I already had the knowledge and the skills like built up to be able to just hit the ground running. But if you're just starting out and looking to make content for yourself, I would recommend just downloading CapCut and using the desktop version and then also using the version for your phone and just pay the yearly license fee. I'm not sure how much it is, but honestly, like it's so worth having a dedicated like editing program, and one that can go across your desktop but also your phone would be awesome. Did you have a wild experience with customer service that made you want to start making skits? I haven't thought about that. I suppose I haven't had one wild crazy experience. I've had a lot of different casual and part-time jobs when I was in school and studying through uni. I've worked at Subway, Hungry Jack's, Pizza Hut, Woolworths. I've done a lot of different jobs. So I started working from when I was 14 and 9 months, which is like the legal age here in Australia. I think it's still the same. So that was year 9. I was put to work immediately, but honestly, I wouldn't change it. I really appreciated that my parents pushed me to do that because I feel like it's just taught me so much having those jobs. So I really recommend getting a casual or part-time job while you're in school if you can manage it. But the main job, not for all of these stories, but just in general, like I learned the most from was my Woolworths job. When I was in uni, I worked on the checkouts, and then I worked my way up to customer service 2IC, and I actually did it full time for a little bit. And I learned that just wasn't for me and what I was kind of wanting with my life. It was a great job, and I dealt with a lot of different people, especially working on like the smoke shop or like the customer service desk, which is when people are coming in for refunds or like buying cigarettes and things like that. So, and it was at the busiest store in Queensland as well. So you can imagine there was a lot of stuff happening. Had to call the police a lot of times, people trying to steal, all that sort of stuff. Were you the class clown in high school, or were you the complete opposite of who you are today? Again, in the right setting, like in a smaller group, I would be pretty funny and, crack jokes here and there, but I definitely wasn't the main class clown. I was quite shy in school, to be honest. I found playing some sort of sport and being good at it sort of automatically made you a bit cooler. I played tennis and swimming. They were like my main sports growing up. So being part of school sport and like on a sporting team at school does help you just mix with more people because you're coming into contact with more people, I guess. How did you get into making the content you do, like the inspo behind the first one? To be honest, I think just working a job where I was editing a lot of videos for other talent, I kind of like always thought deep down that I could be doing this, not editing the videos, but like being the talent in the footage. But I'd put it off for so long. I was in a stale relationship. Everything was super comfortable and I wasn't really taking any risks. And when that relationship ended up breaking down, I kind of had like a year just to myself to really be like, what do I actually want to do with my life? That was a really pivotal moment for me in my entire life. Like everything changed. And I'm really grateful that I actually went through that. I know that sounds weird to say, but it really taught me that if I want something, I've just got to go ahead and do it and don't just sit back and wait for stuff to happen. What was the question again? Oh, the first video. The first ones, I don't remember. They were just kind of like similar stuff to what I do, not as planned out and a lot of thought going into them in terms of scripting them up and stuff like that. It was more just if I have an idea quickly, I'll just film it and do it. But the first viral ones, I guess, were the ones about Australia Post, like delivery drivers and things like that. You're working from home and then you get a notification that you weren't home, they couldn't deliver your parcel. A lot of triggering emotion in those reels and a lot of people related to that. And yeah, those ones really popped off. So that was when I was like, you know what? I can do this. I'm just going to give it a proper go and start releasing like 1 or 2 videos a week and just see how we go. And here we are. Do you look at your poo before you flush? Is smooth peanut butter better than crunchy? No, I prefer smooth, although I do like the texture of crunchy here and there, just when I want to spice things up, you know what I mean? When I'm feeling a bit wild. Kat prefers crunchy, I prefer smooth. So we always have one of each in the cupboard and I can just kind of, just grab whatever I'm feeling on the day. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I prefer smooth though, because crunchy sort of gets in your teeth and it's like, it's annoying. How long on average does it take to make and edit a video? Good question. It probably takes about half a day, I reckon, like all up. I don't always like script, film and edit in the one day. I try and film as much as I can after work or on weekends when I'm not working, and then I kind of schedule them out through the week so it kind of frees up the week a bit more. What started your filmmaking career or what got you into it? I used to be a nightclub photographer. That's kind of how I first started. A mate of mine, Jared, he actually got me into it. He was shooting nightclubs at the time and he needed help. He had that many contracts to different clubs. And I think any one given weekend, like you'd shoot 5 or 6 venues in a night. And that was an awesome job. It meant that I could work Friday and Saturday nights and then have the rest of the week off while I was studying and be enough money to kind of give me everything I needed. And then here I am now making social media stuff. Does your wife ever want to be in your videos, or are you a one-man show? I think Kat would die if she was going to be in one of my videos. She likes that I do the content, you know, she finds it funny, and our friends and people, like, they often comment on it and ask her about it and whatnot. And she likes that I enjoy it. It's a goal of mine, and I want to sort of move it into a full-time capacity. So I'm working on that, not just for me, but also for us and like our future family. How did you get over the fear of people you know, not close, seeing your content? Really good question. I actually started a separate Instagram account when I knew that I wanted to start making content for myself, like skits and reels and stuff. And I didn't tell any of my friends about it. I just started posting a few videos, and then once they sort of started gaining momentum, a lot of my friends and people that I kind of knew, they started just organically seeing it, and then they started following me. And then once I was at a level that I was kind of happy with, I then just shared it from like another account, and I was like, hey guys, like I'm doing this on the side, bit of fun, whatever. But honestly, most of it has been organic. I've never told anyone to like go and follow me or like comment on my stuff, because I just don't think that helps. I strongly recommend, if you want to start making content for yourself, make a separate account, don't tell anyone about it, just start releasing content here and there, once a week, twice a week, whatever you can fit in, and then let the right people organically just come across and find it. Would you consider taking up comedy? Now, what I assume you mean by that is stand-up comedy. I haven't really considered stand-up comedy. I think I would like to do live shows at some point. I'd like to explore a podcast. I'd like to explore a long-form YouTube series, could be kind of cool. So when I eventually get to a point where I can do content full-time, I'd love to try those things. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my Ray-Ban Meta review as well. Stick around for the next one, I guess. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm hoping to get a bit more regular with the uploads. If that's something that you guys want to see, maybe some vlogs and more like, not day in the life, but essentially that's what it kind of is, isn't it? This kind of stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for your support as always. Bye.